Hello, everyone. This is Zen again. I'm gonna keep saying my name just because, even though my name is definitely in the titles and stuff. But anyway, let's see. We're in the middle of June, and I've been thinking about the concept of being chosen and this concept of breaking generational curses. I was going to give my take on it because I feel like there's a whole lot of material, and a whole lot of people more or less saying the exact same thing, and I feel like we're not taking a step further. I feel like we're focused too much on the defensive part. And we're just like, hey, chosen. If somebody is chosen, you're not supposed to disturb their peace. If somebody is chosen, you're not supposed to attack them. If somebody's chosen, you're not supposed to do this. Well, I'm sorry to break it to y'all, but nobody can tell the difference. It's like, I'm sorry, but most average Joe Schmoes that doesn't know the difference. They just see people. They don't know that that's a chosen person versus that's not a chosen person. And for the chosen folks out there, it's like you gotta part of life is learning how to spot the liars and avoiding them, like learning how to spot the abusers and cutting them off as fast as possible. I don't know why we get on platforms and say to people, oh, you shouldn't mess with the chosen ones because they're this, and you shouldn't mess with the chosen ones. One thing I learned about bullies, they love to do exactly what you told them not to do. Oh, what, I'm not supposed to mess with the chosen ones? That's exactly what I'm gonna do, because I don't know, that's been in my experience. I feel like a lot of the people who, went out of their way to disturb my energy, it felt to me like that was the literal reason why they wanted to disturb my peace, because they see me as like a chosen person, and it's like, you're probably gonna do great things in the world, and you're gonna remember me because I'm about to piss you off so much you can never forget me. Right? Those are two ways of staying in someone's memory, either being the best thing they ever had or being the worst thing they ever had. No one ever forgets either one. And so you'd be surprised how many people made a decision to be the worst experience of your life so they don't get forgotten ever by you. So I don't know why, no offense, but, teach his own. But I think it's time for us to take it a step further, the term being chosen. I've actually also been thinking about, like, I actually feel a little bit like we've been tricked. I feel a little bit like we've been tricked. Like, let me put it this way. I would think about like applying to college. Like thinking about applying to college, right? You made choices like, I'm gonna apply to this one, right? You made several choices that applied to these 10 colleges, right? Now, what happens when you get 10 acceptance letters, right? So that's 10 colleges that chose you. You cannot go to 10 colleges at the same time. You're not gonna do that, right? You have to actually kind of respond to that. And so I feel like we're not getting to the rest of being chosen. We're not getting to what you're supposed to do about it. And this is really important because a lot of people are not doing this step. And I'm sorry to say this realistically, but it's like, in a way, you're kind of forfeiting your spot. If I get an acceptance letter from a college that I applied to, they might want me to reply, right? Like, hey, we need to know if you are accepting our acceptance by this date, or we're giving that seat to another student. We're going to send a letter to another student, right? And so if you feel like you've been chosen, the next thing you really need to ask yourself is like, what kinds of choices do I need to make to like align with that? You get what I'm saying? And I'm actually starting to feel like there's a trick here, right? Because we exist in a matrix. I just want to, again, like, it's matrix, tricks, right? Put it right in the cereal box. Tricks are for kids, right? And then we're all children of God, right? So the tricks are for all of us. And I was watching a movie last night called The Island. right? Scarlett Johansson is definitely my white girl crush. Was good. Um, Scarlett Johansson, the actor, who's another well-known actor whose name I can't remember. There's actually several of my favorite actors are in this movie, but I was thinking about how, in the context of this movie, right, everybody was waiting to get chosen, right? So I guess I'll tell you, for those who didn't see it, the movie's about people who didn't realize that they were the clones and not the people. Although a clone is technically a person still. There's this island, really there's this underground bunker where whoever they were, I don't even think this was the government. I think this is an independent agency, because a lot of what they're doing is technically illegal. But it's basically it was a place where rich people can give their DNA, have the clone of themselves grown in this bunker, and anytime I need a body part replacement or some blood or something, they'll go find my clone, take it, kill it, take whatever it needs, and then gives it to me. The premise of it was that the rich people actually didn't even know that they were growing whole clones, that they were told that they were taking the DNA and maybe growing the part. Because I think we or at least working on the technology. Long story short, it's like, what if I told you that I could take your DNA and grow you a new liver, and I can grow you a new lung, or I can grow you a new foot. That'll be your foot, and I can reattach your foot, you know? And so that's what people thought they were paying for. They thought they were paying for them storing their DNA so that they can make a new whatever you need when you need it, right? So what they didn't know was that this company actually was making clones. They were making clones and then stealing taking the body part when they needed it. Okay, there's that. And so, of course, the main characters of the movie, they stumble upon this truth, and they're essentially running. They're getting out of there. They were told they were on an island, and there was even a whole section where they were running, and then it looked like they was crossing this bridge, right? Because you're on an island. Clearly, there's going to be a bridge, right, that leads you to the other main land. But they ran across this bridge and then realized there was a wall. There was a holographic wall around them, making it look like they were on this island, that they were actually in this underground bunker. But I feel like it's no coincidence that I seen this movie last night while I'm thinking about this whole concept of being chosen. And in their case, within the bunker, they were told that that they were people. They were in this bunker, or they were on this island separate from the rest of the world, because the world has been contaminated. I feel like I've seen multiple movies actually where they were told, people were lied to and said like there was a contamination in the world and everyone had to go underground, or everyone had to stay inside, and then they would come out and realize that's not the case. Although I've seen this other movie where the girl gets out the bunker and there actually end up being aliens, and it was actually really hilarious. I forgot the name of that movie. I'll come back to that maybe sometime. But I was thinking again about this term chosen, and I was thinking about this movie that I just saw last night, because from the clones who didn't know they were clones, who thought they were in this island, and they thought they were in this island being kept safe from the contaminants of the rest of the world, because they lied about some catastrophe happening, and but they would do this lottery, I think every day or every other day, every week, I forget. They would do this lottery and a name would get called, and this person would get an opportunity. What's the other way around? They were in the bunker and they was getting an opportunity to go to the island. Yeah, they were in a bunker. They were in the bunker. And they knew they were in a bunker. And they were told that when you win this lottery, you get to go spend some time on this special island someplace and drink margaritas and, I don't know, wear grass skirts. So, okay, I don't want to I don't want to retell this. I don't want to stop this video. So I'm going to keep going. All right, so like they're in the bunker. They know they're in a bunker. They felt like they were told they were being kept safe in that bunker. And that every now and again they would do a lottery. In the lottery, they would send the people who win this lottery out to this island where they can live this beautiful island life. And so everyone's so excited to be chosen to go be in this island. But main character man, I think he got curious and snuck his way through some things and came into a room where he seen the woman who was chosen for that night. And because she was about to give birth to her baby, so I guess if you were having a baby, you automatically get to go to the island because you're about to give birth, blah blah blah. Long story short, he sees her give birth, sees the doctor holding the baby, and then they inject her with something that killed her. And that's when he freaked out. And his friend, who's played by Scarlett Johansson, she was gonna be next. And he was like, we gotta get out of here. But I'm making a point here. I feel like this Matrix has a way of infiltrating our truth. I feel like this Matrix has a way of infiltrating spiritual truths. And because they have this medium, this technology medium, right? Media, to kind of convolute the messaging a bit. We're looking everything up online. When you think about it, like, just because I'm here and I'm saying what I'm saying doesn't mean someone doesn't have the ability to make it sound like something else on your phone. Does that make sense? And so I'm like, what if? What I'm getting at is, what if we're all chosen? Part of the reason why I'm also spending a lot of time on that is because people who are serious about watching this is going to actually stick around this long. Because what I'm about to say is for real. What if we've all been kind of tricked a little bit, and then what if we're all chosen? What if we're all chosen, and what actually needs to happen is that some of us need to make a choice? Does that make sense? What if we're all chosen? To an extent, like, don't get me wrong, there are beings walking around this earth that look like human that's not even human. There's beings walking around this earth that's a human body without a spirit. And so by everybody, I really mean like everybody, every whole person that is a person, that is a human, that has a spirit and a soul, and but what I'm saying is, like, we're all chosen. We're all here. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and she reminded me of this, that we choose to come in here, right? We choose to come to Earth. We choose to come into Earth. But there's also a whole long line to come into Earth. We're not the only ones that want to be here. Like, we're here because we wanted to be here. And there's actually this whole long waiting list to come into here. So people, some people got to go out for people to come in. As a spirit, I made a choice to come in here. And as a spirit, when I made the choice to come in here, I made the choice to play the game as it is. Right? When we're birthed, we come into the bodies, and we're birthed out of a body. We signed up for the amnesia, right? That is part of the game. It's like, I'm going to sign up for this game where once I enter it, I forget everything. And the name of the game is remembering again. remembering why I'm in here. Remembering why I'm in here is also remembering why I chose to come here, which is also like remembering the purpose. It's like you join the military. Some people actually had a purpose when they joined the military. Like, I joined the military because I want to be able to pay for college. I joined this military because I want to be able to do this other thing afterwards. Makes sense? So I feel like we all chose to come in here. And I feel like there's another choice by God, who or whatever God is, right? I feel like there's also a choice on their end to let you come through. And when we signed up, we got this amnesia, and when you're here, you make various choices. You make several choices. You'll choose to meditate. You'll choose to learn to meditate. You'll choose to learn to get quiet. You might choose to want to raise your frequency. You might choose not to. If you believe yourself to be chosen, which I'm just theorizing that everybody's chosen, and actually Spirit and God, our ancestors, is waiting for us to make choice. And so how that connects to generational curses, breaking generational curses. Again, I feel like we hear the word curse and we start thinking that a curse is only the bad. It's like maybe like being an abuser, right? If someone is abusive to their partner, and it's highly likely that those kids will grow up to be abusive to their partners, and it's highly likely that those kids will be abusive to their partners, and then we'll say like, okay, we need to break the cycle. I feel like something like that is obvious. I feel like it's more obvious when it's blatant like that, when it's blatant abuse, when it's addiction, and I feel like those things are a part of it. And we all know that addiction, when you're addicted to drugs, is not really about the drug. I would hope we know that by now. But we come in here, and I feel like part of what we are remembering is why we came here, so that you can make the proper choices. It's like if I'm going to the military because I hope to do college later, versus somebody who's in the military because they want to stay in the military till they're old enough to retire. Those two people might move different. They might make different kinds of choices while they're there because they both know why they're there. And I feel like, unfortunately, when we came in, we get amnesia. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's the game, right? We come into the game, and part of the game is to give us this amnesia, and spirit guys are around us and constantly dropping signs and hints to get us to choose to want to connect more to our spirit guides and ancestors. Actually, when I pray, I say spirit guides, ancestors, and all other magical beings, because I feel like, are too smart for our own good sometimes, and think that we just know what the name of everything. And the more I know, I don't know anything. And I know that there's all kinds of magical beings around me helping me, and I couldn't tell you what they were called. I've even gotten a reading from like experienced shamans who could see certain magical beings around me and be like, I don't know what those are. And like, why would you? Like, everyone is not from everywhere, and they can't name things, but an energy can be felt. Don't mind me, I'm just pausing because people are walking by, and I don't feel like them being in all of my business. But right now, oh man, I can't be comfortable. He's walking around in house slippers. This gravel is kind of rough, but anyway. Anywho, So I feel like our spirit guides, they drop a lot of hints and signs in order to encourage you to connect more to your guide. That's why we have spirit guides, right? If I were to go to a country I've never been to, one of the best things that I could do, if I can afford it, is a local guide who can help me get around and avoid dangers. And so, in this case, whether I've been here before or not, of course I came in with guides. Even if I have been here before, I haven't been here now before, right? You know what I mean by that, right? Like if I've been here before, that was how many years ago, right? Life was different back then. Yeah, there's people again, don't mind me. Right? The person that just walked past me, she's wearing all orange. All orange. And orange makes me think of the sacral chakra, which is also like, it's creative expression, it's self-expression, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm bringing my own I guess stuckness around self-expression. So that was a confirmation for me, like, you're doing it. That's my spirit guide saying you're doing it, right? And so, because I feel like there's too much ego around this concept of chosen, and in fact, there's a lack of people making deeper choices after coming to whatever conclusion that you're chosen. I met a young lady, matter of fact, years back. She had a boyfriend who introduced her to like the Yoruba Ifa stuff, and the Orishas, and putting an altar together, and praying to spirit guides, ancestors, and how to call on these Orishas, when to call on them for what, and things like that. Introduced her to the topic. However, it seems she actually took it a step further but actually leaned into actual faith. I feel like sometimes we get this information and it's like, I feel like we get the information and we treat the information like it's the machete we need to cut through something. It's like I feel like we're still strong arming. And in this case, I felt like she wasn't just learning it, but she was allowing herself to be vulnerable to it, and really, really, her faith in it was actually going deeper and deeper and deeper. She was going, she was actually trusting spirit as opposed to just wanting to talk about it and wanting to teach about it. She's actually she's embodying someone who actually believes it. And what I told her was, you actually took his seat, because he keeps going on and on and on about how chosen he is, but hadn't made any choices. It doesn't feel like it felt like he was actually just stuck there at just like, oh, I got this acceptance letter, but it's like, did you respond to the acceptance letter? Does spirit know you're accepting your chosen position? Are you connecting with your guidance? Is it making you more have more faith? It's like, the more I connect with my guides, the more I trust my guides, and the more faith I had. And so it's like I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and deeper I go, the more secure I feel. My confidence comes from within. That's really the proper way to build confidence anyway. It's supposed to come from within, not from having things. But I'm a little bit all over the place. So I feel like the Matrix tricked us a little bit And I also, again, I'm on here, no offense to y'all, but I'm like, I just hear everybody saying the same part, and we're not taking it to the next step. Is you got to make some decision. And so in my case, I would be making decisions. Where we at? 25. All right, I can ramble on a little bit longer. And another example. This example. It's just an example. It's a little bit related to, it is somewhat related to me, but I'm still gathering more details. But in this case of stealing inheritances, right? Let's talk about chosen and like breaking generational curses and stealing inheritances. I took a little bit of notes, so don't mind. I'm just looking down here. Right? Because as a chosen person, right, I started off feeling like the generational curses that I am facing is the typical, because like most of my family problems are, to me, typical problems. Addiction, typical problem. There's some jealousy. Truth is, I never expect jealous people to admit that they're jealous. No offense, but especially men. I feel like women are just more inclined to admit it. Maybe it shows up different on them in a more obvious way. Or I feel like men have gotten really good at like you not thinking that's what the problem is. But or should I say, dominantly masculine energies versus feminine energies. But it's like I started off. Part of the reason why, I have a lot of reasons why I'm sharing this, but I'm just gonna share it. Yeah, it started out feeling like, okay, I need to break the generational curse of poverty. This is where breaking the generational curse of poverty, breaking the generational curse of addiction, and so in order to do that, I went within, right? I used my birth chart, which I guess I'll turn that into my own little workshop one day. But I started off utilizing my birth chart to peel back the layers of myself and really just get to know myself. Spirit spoke to me one day and said, "If you know you, it's all. That is pretty much everything you need to know is yourself. You're with you 24/7." And if you don't know you, you really will have a hard time really perceiving other people. And so know thyself. And so I started facing the things I felt like, whatever insecurities I had, I decided to I did it like a project. Like I treated myself like a project. Hence the name of this page is Project Transcendence. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. Just as an example, it's like if I felt like I hate Brussels sprouts, I would kind of make myself eat more Brussels sprouts. If I noticed that I had a habit of shyness, I had this really bad habit of shyness, and so, I mean, again, it was dysphoria. A lot of it was dysphoria, and I didn't know. But at the time, I just thought I was self-conscious, and I actually was even labeling myself someone having a low self-esteem, while at the same time I don't really. That dysphoria really threw me, right? And but because instead of judging myself and being in denial about what I'm struggling with myself, I decided to just face it head on. And do the thing you're scared to do. So I became a DJ. Which is the catch-20. There is a little bit of a catch to that, because it forces me to put myself out there in some ways, but and not in every way possible. But it was great for the time. I didn't realize how many people thought that I was really, I like DJing. I didn't come into it because I wanted to be a career DJ. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like, I wanted to make millions of dollars one day, but I also understood that there's a lot of learning from where I was to having that. I don't, I never seen millions and millions of dollars before. How would I know what to do with it? And so I would put myself in a position, like, in other words, as a DJ, now I'm my own business. Now it makes me have to put these flyers together and then, or hit this person up online and advertise myself and promote myself and negotiate things and socialize. And people are coming up to me, right? People are noticing me. Large part of the DJing was me just helping me get out my shyness and learn some business sense about myself. Like, to me, I'm always been the kind of person where it's like the best way to learn about something is like to go all in there. I wanted to know what it's like to work in education, so I went and worked in education. Then I wanted to explore nonprofit, although schools are nonprofits, I wanted to explore working at a nonprofit organization because I couldn't do the classroom thing anymore. So I went and got a job doing that. Then I thought to myself, in all fairness, to be honest with y'all, like, I feel like the nonprofit world sometimes feels like they're so much different from like for-profit corporate world. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, but like, corporate world is a corporate world, whether it's for-profit or not profit, and there's so many things that just the same. And so I'm like, well, if I'm gonna have a desk job, it may as well be for-profit. So I went into sales. And again, this is also putting me in a more position to get over my shyness. I hate making phone calls. I don't like answering the phone. I don't like picking up the phone, calling people. However, it was sales. It was Wall Street. And I'm also recognizing myself as I'm healing my relationship to money, because I didn't have a great relationship to money. I would have it and I didn't have it. I was the broke friend, it's this chronically broke friend. But I also at the same time aren't staying at these jobs, right? I'm almost certain to have some level of like ADHD or ADD too, right? But just living such an exploratory life allowed me to explore. And when you explore, you do uncover things, you do discover things, and you do learn things, because that is what the intention was. And so what also brought me to Wall Street was wanting to heal my relationship to money. And so now I'm working in the money industry, which is interesting, right? Because we were doing folks were doing the whole Occupy Wall Street thing around the same time that I was on Wall Street. And I mean, no disrespect when I say this, y'all, like, the money is not in the buildings. Like, I don't know what that was about. And I'm not sure it accomplished anything. It's not a great idea. I'll be honest with y'all, I didn't think that was a great idea. I didn't agree with the Occupy Wall Street thing. Because again, the money's not in there. I even try to tell one of my friends, like, the job that I had, majority of the salespeople at that job were people of color. And socializing with all these folks, this person makes $20,000 a month, this person makes $10,000 a month. That guy just, told me he did $149,000. I never forgot that conversation, Kevin. Yeah, my that was just a commission. We were selling multiple things. So he's like, yeah, I got $49,000 last month. He was doing that. So long story short, what does this relate to stealing inheritances? I'm gonna tell you how this relates to stealing inheritances and how that was not a good idea. Because it showed me that poverty is not the problem. Poverty is not the problem, because there's clearly not a lack of funds. People is working and earning money, and then this person decides to steal the inheritance for a bunch of strangers that don't even know us and don't even care about you or barely like you at all. I'm sorry, but your friends are laughing at you, were laughing at you behind your back while you was throwing your family under the bus to show off to them. But And I don't want to be implicated in these crimes. So I have no problem talking about it. Right? I didn't steal anything. I'm still broke. So I uncover my family. Not only were they stealing each other's inheritances, but they're using black magic and hexing to take people out. So here I am feeling like I need to break the habit of poverty in my family, but we're clearly not broke. We just have too much thieves in the family, right? There's too much thieving. Is it jealousy? Is it insecurity? Is it addiction? Sometimes you get addiction. Again, that's part of the reason why I mentioned addiction too, because you can be addicted to anything. You can be addicted to stealing. It's wild to me. And the people that were taking out my family with hexing was trying to take me out too. And I know that's part of the reason that sometimes I would get kind of fatigued and sometimes I would get kind of irritable. But that's really just spirits indicators that something is off. You know, for me to pay attention, but of course you're not going to be able to take me out. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it had to be somebody sometime. Somebody had to be the one you couldn't kill sometime, because how many generations back does that go? Like how long have y'all been doing that? And the wild thing about hexing and black magic and spell work and stuff is like, how do you build a case? How do you take someone to court for that? How do you get someone arrested for that? How do you do that? I don't know. Wow. Actually, I pulled some cards before I started, right? And I've just been laying out. Pardon me, I gotta spit. I know I pulled some cards earlier before we started, like, you know, tarot cards, right? And like, don't even want to go there right now. This is why I try to write things down so I don't veer too much. But that's the interesting thing about life is like, oh yeah, and so I'm pretty sure one of my relatives attempted to destiny swap with me. One reason, again, why I'm even inspired to start talking about it, because I know we're getting to the end of this chapter. I think some people are getting arrested. I'm supposed to keep pretending like I don't know what's going on, while at the same time Spirit wants me to start talking about it. And I'm not even sure if this is what they meant. I might be being too forward. I don't know. I'm like, was I supposed to be more coded about this? But I'm just like, this is such a problem. And so, like, okay, you know, then you come upon it. Yeah, they try to destiny swap me. What I was getting at is, I was clicking around YouTube like maybe 2 days ago, and they came across a young lady talking about destiny swaps. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, my energy is shifting too, because I'm shifting out of that old chapter, and I feel like Spirit just keeps sending me these confirmations, like it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to start talking about it. Because I was not going to say anything to anybody until I left. I'm still where I'm at. I still live where I'm at, and I don't know if my mom is going to see this. I don't know if the person that lives next door to me watches YouTube every day and I'm just going to see this. And that's largely why I've really just been being quiet until I can leave. But I also realize sometimes when you're too quiet for too long, it makes it too easy for people to keep lying on me. Which is fascinating. Sometimes I actually do that on purpose too. When people lie on you, I still be quiet. It's really fascinating. watching people, and it's interesting what people how it's like when people assume you are where you are in your life and what you need, and they kind of assume that like telling this lie is gonna hurt your feelings and stuff like that. And people think it's that I don't care, but it's not that I don't care. I care. I care about the right things to care about. I don't have to turn off all my caring because of somebody's bad behavior. But yeah, so it's like thinking about this concept of chosen and thinking about this relative that tried to destiny swap with me because I guess you wanted to be chosen, while at the same time choosing to destiny swap, choosing the opposite of integrity, choosing to be a murderer. Because I don't know how many people you and your friends killed with that hexing and black magic, because that makes you, last time I checked, that makes you a serial killer now. So I'm trying to understand how a serial killer was supposed to vibrate on this frequency. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be on the frequency of somebody who lived a life of integrity if you've been stealing your whole life. That makes us not even on the same playing field, right? That kind of makes us not even in the same pond. You're not even trying to be a good person. You're only trying to seem like a good person, and all that does is just you make your vibration go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. When something isn't vibrating anymore, I mean, I guess that's when it's not even alive. I'm not trying to wish death on anyone, but you already did that. You already wished death on people, and I don't know what's gonna come of y'all now once that death magic starts swirling around. It's not coming over here. It's not coming over here. I've barely lived. I've lived so much, but I barely lived. I didn't come here to die now. So like, no. This is also what happens when you know what your purpose is, right? You tap into your purpose. I know why I'm here. I know why I'm here for the most part. Obviously, I didn't know that detail before I started, but I knew I had a purpose, and I knew that purpose involved making sure the next generation doesn't have to deal with what I'm dealing with. I grew up in housing projects. My parents, they grew up in houses. Those parents grew up in houses. My parents didn't grow up in housing projects, yet here I am growing up in housing projects. So all that thievery is doing is you're literally taking it's almost like you want the bloodline to be stuck. It's almost like you want the bloodline to be stuck. You want our bloodline to go backwards, right? So you was gonna steal the money by killing us so you can seem like the hero to who? Those complete strangers that put you up to this, that don't like you, and is laughing at you behind your back. And you know, I guess they're not laughing now, but they was laughing at you because you was dumb enough to do it. I'm sorry, but that's the unfortunate thing of words like jealousy, right? I actually feel like jealousy can make a smart person dumb. Jealousy can make a smart person dumb so fast. We can do the silliest thing. And so so what ends up happening is it's like, okay, I'm not bringing in a generational curse of poverty because we're not poor. We're not poor. We're just not sharing the money. We're not sharing the money. Not only are we not sharing the money, but we're buying crap we don't need. You're buying crap you don't really need. You're probably just giving it away. You're probably, you know what I mean? You're using it to kiss butt, right? Using it to kiss butt, using it to eat crap, right? Probably. There's a reason why when people get money, they gain weight, right? Now you can eat all this stuff you couldn't afford before. Now you also can eat out every night. Forget cooking. Now you're not taking care of yourself. Now you got an ego. Now your nose is up in the air because you got money and that person is. Now you want to, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God. Like, it's so childish. It's so childish. You know, I guess maybe we need to break the generational curse of acting like teenagers. And then like in that, I was thinking about that in that movie again, the movie The Island, right? And in their case, chosen meant death. In their case, chosen meant death. And thought of myself as the chosen one in the family, and someone definitely tried to kill me. And so like that's also part of it. Chosen folks out there, they do want to kill us. Not everybody. We need to stop that crap too. Like, oh, they trying to kill all the black people. No, they don't. If I wanted to kill all the black people, then what's the point of diplomacy at all? No. You gotta stop that, okay? They would probably love to kill all the witches. They would probably love to kill all the people like me who can see through the BS. Hey, playing. I'm pretty sure they would, you know what I'm saying? They would love to kill all the people that's trying to help everyone heal. Or something like that, but you gotta stop that crap. They're not trying to kill everybody. Oh, I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you a picture I colored. It's a piggy bank. I picked this piggy bank at random. I honestly forgot it was even a bank. I just picked it because I haven't colored in a while, and I just wanted something simple and open space that I can just kind of play around with some color. I'm working my way out of my own stagnation because I realized what I was doing. What I was doing is I was living in paranoia. I think I was intuiting this stuff happening behind my back, and some part of me clicked into paranoia of this stuff affecting me in some way. I don't want to get pinned with a crime that I didn't do. In fact, I would almost rather die than get pinned with a crime I didn't do. But here's the cool thing about life, right? There's a cool thing about having allowed myself to be guided by spirit. Learning how to allow myself to be guided by spirit is. I had a note for that. Did I drop something? We're definitely winding down. If you're tired of listening to me, you can keep going. You can go ahead and turn this off. I wouldn't be mad at you. That's wild. Where's the note? That's crazy. I have no idea where it went. The paper that I actually wrote stuff down on disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, that's what I was getting at. So allowing myself, learning pretty early how to allow myself to be led by spirit led me to learning how to release jealousy. I don't get jealous. It's funny because I would tell people things like this and they think I'm bragging, but it's like, no, I'm a healer who wants to help people heal, and it's gonna be want to be selling books one day. I'm not supposed to tell you I overcame anything, but okay. But like I said, I deleted jealousy because I didn't see the point. I don't know why that's there. Like, I feel like we have these different feelings, emotions, things that actually serve some purpose. Like anger. Too much anger is destructive. But just enough anger, can keep you protected. It can keep you moving forward. It can keep you, I'm the kind of person sometimes when I feel like someone's trying to hold me down, it actually makes me want to go harder. And my spirit guides know me well enough to know that. So I feel like sometimes they would bring conflict into my life because they know how it gives me hype to like go harder. Because the truth is, I'd rather be chilling. I am an old soul. I've been here a lot of times, and I've done a lot over those many, many, many lifetimes. I guess maybe that's why I had to, this is my last one. I don't think I'm coming back after this, and I feel like that's why part of the reason why I'm serving this purpose is that it's not. You're chosen. People like you're chosen because you're special. And it's like, no, it's like maybe it was the timing of it. Maybe I came in at the right time in the right place, and I answered the call. That's what I mean. That's what I was getting at about. It's not enough to just think you're chosen. if you're getting a phone call and you don't answer it, does it matter? If you get accepted that college acceptance letter and then you don't reply to the acceptance letter, does it matter? Okay, if you believe yourself to be chosen, then you need to start acting like it. You need to start doing what chosen people are supposed to do, which is tap into your guidance, because it reminds you why you're here. And it's let me out of depression. They let me out of depression. I don't have a dime to my name right now. I don't even have a bank account. But let me tell you, this is why people keep looking at me like, how do you have so much joy? Right? Because like I tapped into my joy. Tapped into my peace. My name is Zen. It's actually a piece of my birth name. It's a piece of my actual name. I didn't make that up because it sounds cute. And of course, there's no coincidence in that. So I feel like part of my purpose is written right in my name, Zen. It's like tapping into that inner peace, that inner joy, that reservoir, right? That spiritual reservoir. Words are so funny sometimes, but yeah, that spiritual reservoir of unconditional love and joy, the spiritual unlimited reservoir of unconditional love and joy. It never runs out, and it's always there for you. You go in there, it's like it's like your private spring, like fresh water inside of you. And I don't have the chattery mind anymore. My mind doesn't do that blah, 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 blah. I have my moments, but my brain is not out of control anymore. I've literally gone back and forth with a person once where they're just like, hey, what are you thinking? I'm like, nothing. Surely you're thinking something. People's always thinking something. I'm like, no, I'm not thinking anything. Like, nothing. And they're just like, that's not a thing. And I'm like, don't you go to meditation? What was the point? Aren't you learning how to clear your mind? Like, people think that's a suggestion and not an actual thing to achieve. No, you can clear some of that chatter. And I'll make a post about these things individually. Like, I think I said this like 2 posts ago. Like, I really just need to not regurgitate. I need to vomit out stuff right now because I've just been silent for too long. So I need to just get a lot of stuff out, and then it's gonna over time. It'll be more organized over time. I'm not that bad. I feel like there was another thing. Yeah, I got my mind and my body together. This is the first time I mean, did he come in and leave? I don't know. That was weird. He's walking backwards now. So I think he went up and then back down. It's funny. He's walking backwards. That's fun. But, right, balancing, coming into certain, truths about myself. In this case, it's transness, but coming into that truth also allowed me to find more balance between masculine and feminine energy. This Nine of Swords card keeps coming up when I've been giving myself readings, and like this Nine of Swords been coming up. So I feel like, which is interesting, right? Because when you think of fire, think of masculine energy, and it's a young lady standing tall, holding this light, and it's a Nine of Wands. Wands is fire. Wands is action. I almost forget. I haven't looked at these tarot cards for so long, I almost forget. It's Cups, Wands. There's Cups, Wands, Swords. I forgot what the fourth one was. Wow, Pentacles. Yes, fire, right? Nine of Wands to me is like time to take action. Time to take action. And standing tall and like her hand is on that. Like that's an action. Standing there, like taking action. Nine to me is the number of transformation. There's also endings. Like nine is transformation and endings. I don't know. Maybe I might stop now and actually just do a card reading independently because I've been talking, and again, like it just needs to come out. And so here's the irony again. Like back to the stealing inheritances, right? Here's the irony of all of that is we've become so materialistic that we forgot, like, we are the inheritance. It's like I am the abundance. I am the inheritance. My clear mind and heart, my clear conscience, my clear criminal record, right? Having figured myself out at a time that I can do something about it. Still young enough to do something about it. You know, I have my two arms, I have two legs. No disrespect to people. If you got one arm and two legs, if you got one leg and two arms, I'm just saying, if you have your right mind and any means of moving yourself forward, you have everything. This is the abundance. This is my true inheritance. I came here to learn. I came here to be a lifelong student. I never expected to be broke my entire life. I knew I would be a starving artist for a good while. And this is part of why it's important to tap into your spiritual guidance. Spirit told me years ago, if you trust us and do what we say, you'll have the money later. It'll take much longer than you expect. It'll be much harder than you expect. You're gonna be waiting a while. You're gonna be doing this a while. It reminds me of like when you're online and you see those posts. They show you a picture of a house on a beautiful beach in the middle of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, would you give up the internet for a year to live here?" What internet? I don't even got phone service right now. Like, this is how spoiled we are. This is how spoiled we are, and it really goes to show how much we got accustomed to this colonized society, because that is what life was before y'all came over here and decided you want to build high rises and put us in boxes stacked on top of each other. Like, that's not natural. Like, that's the irony of this argument about what is or isn't natural. What's natural about colonizing people? Y'all, what's natural? What's natural about using murder and sexual assault and trickery and to steal something from someone and then call yourself the man? Like, right? Like, that's a mental health disorder if you ask me, but I digress. I just wanted to say that. I don't know if that was even appropriate. It's fascinating too. Give me a second. Somebody's walking past me. Yeah. I'm gonna take a pause. Let's see, we're going on an hour now. This is my record. This is definitely my record. I'm about to wrap up for sure. Definitely wrapping up for sure. I'm trying to have like a nice long talk. It's actually, I feel like I find my personal life, people who like talking to me really like talking to me, and so, right? King of Cups. This came out multiple times too. that's the balance. It's like I have control of my emotions. I'm not emotionally out of control. Because, like, it's so much, so much. So, so many of us are lost here because we have lost our connection. Although you didn't, your spirit guides. Cause I've talked, I've been in conversation with people, and they're just like, oh, my spirit guides don't talk to me like that. Everybody has spirit guides, and yes, they do. Like that, maybe not. Maybe they don't talk to you the exact same ways they talk to me, but we also, again, we need to get out of our ego. Like, how many different ways is there? It's not that many options. It's not that many options. Through your senses, through your dreams, through your ability to feel. Feeling is actually very important. It's 10 times more important than we've made it out to be. We literally be having, like, very brainy conversations about the importance of being vulnerable, and it's like, that person is never going to actually do it. Have all this logic around, I got to convince you it's a good thing, and it's going to be a while. Oh, man. Yeah, everyone has spirit guides. You have spirit guides. You have a purpose. You came here for something. And then, like, maybe some people don't have as crazy of a purpose as mine. Everyone might not be dealing with stolen inheritances. Part of the point was I trusted spirit. This has to be like at least 15 years ago. Trusting spirit and allowing myself to be spirit led. Believing them even when life is knocking you around. It's like spirit promised me gold at the end of this rainbow, right? And then you're crossing that rainbow, and it's like, yo, you ever go on your GPS, you're on your phone, and it looks like, okay, I don't look too far, and then you start walking? It's like, dang, they didn't seem that long when I was looking at it on the GPS. And you just walking, you just tired, your legs hurt. Several people done try to, you've been mugged on the way. The person you asked for help stole something else of yours, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a horrible, I admit, y'all, like, it's such a horrible feeling when you know you need help and you're willing to ask for the help, and the people just helping themselves to your energy. It's wild. Like, y'all are some interesting folks, I have to say. This healing community is fascinating. This healing community needs so much healing. It's ridiculous. Like, it's so much spirit. There's so much bypassing. But anyway, I feel like there are some things that the Christian folks say that might sound a lot like what I'm saying, right? And I actually feel like the only real sin is not being yourself. I feel like the only real sin is not being yourself. The only real sin is not being you. And you only learn you by spending time with you and asking deeper questions of you. Why? Why am I insecure? Why do I feel like that? Why is this weird? What is this weird sensation? Why is my gut telling me this? Why did I lie to myself? I try not to do that, but yeah, these are good questions. Why was I in denial? Why didn't I let myself see that? Why didn't I see that sooner? Why, not in a judging kind of way, but in a inquisitive type of way. Like, date yourself. Date yourself, love yourself, see yourself, find yourself, discover yourself. So once you have you, we all have more in common than we like to act like. You're so different from me. It's like, oh, you're an abomination because you're a trans person. Like, mind you, I'm just sitting in the house chilling, eating chicken. Imagine thinking I'm the abomination and I'm actually the chosen one in your family and you try to kill me. What the hell? And you call yourself a Christian. The person that tried to kill me is a devout, what's it called? Devout Christian. All right. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. I know what unconditional love is. And, the phobes don't. We call it, a phobia means irrational fear. It literally means irrational fear. Like, I have a phobia of cotton balls. Like, that's one thing. To have a phobia of a kind of person, that's silly. That's real silly. Talking about God hates gays. Like, you couldn't find nothing better to do with your day. Are you that bored and lonely? God hates gays. God hates trans people. Like, God doesn't hate. First of all, God is love. And if God thought I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do, let God deal with me. Right? Is that even from a place of love? Are you even a human being? You know what I'm saying? Do you even know? Do you know you have a soul or a spirit? That movie I was watching last night about clones got me thinking too. Like, it's like, does a clone have a soul or a spirit? I don't know. I'm veering off. I'm also curious. I don't know how long of a video I can post, so maybe part of me is also just checking that out too. But yeah, and I appreciate this. I appreciate those who stuck it out. Thank you for those who saw me and scrolled by anyway. It's all good. It's all good because it's all God. And God is love. And it's all love, my people. Peace.